Call it Park Bubba Sparks.
Booty, 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 rockin' everywhere. Booty, booty.
Short. Hey, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Alright, YouTube, so as you guys can see, I brought the check right here so you guys will know. Let me look and make sure ain't nothing on here besides my address. I'm gonna cover this up. And right here you guys can see as far as for how much I got paid on this check. Ooh. This was my gross pay right here. And I ended up taking home this amount. That's how much I went taking home, y'all. Y'all think it's a joke. Like, literally, phlebotomists do not get paid that much at a plasma center. So that's what this video is going to be about. So you guys, I basically was able to show you guys as far as for my check, how much I was able to make at BPL Plasma as a phlebotomist. Don't forget, I started off as a donor floor technician. Then I worked my way up to receptionist, then I worked my way up to phlebotomist. So the more you know, the more money you get. But I figured this video will kind of help you guys out just to show you guys a little bit more proof as far as for BPL Plasma. So whenever you get your paycheck or anything like that, they always give it to you as far as for ADT. That'll be the group that'll be, you know, handling your paychecks. You'll have BPL Plasma in the corner right there. And pretty much this is going to be how it looks for you. Now, some people do have direct deposit and whatnot, but this is what I ended up getting. I want to show you guys as far as from my total earnings right here. So as you guys can see right here, it definitely, I'll just keep looking to make sure ain't nothing on here about me. It definitely says I was making $10 an hour, regular $10 an hour. And then I end up putting PCO in on that day, but pretty much for 58 hours, I got $500 and something, and that's how much I was getting. Now, when you put in for 58 hours, I only end up getting like $580. My gross pay was $700, and they also took out on medical benefits and whatnot, as you guys were able to see that right here. So at the part right here, this was my deductions from my paycheck, and then the total ended up going to be $670.59. So yeah, they did have where they had insurance as far as for medical and dental, so I made sure that I signed up for that, and it took out like $11 and $18 out of that. And again, like I say, it's not as much that you would get starting off as a phlebotomist at a plasma center. So I figured this video would kind of pretty much show you guys my proof as far as for that. This was my lowest paycheck of the year 2019. If you guys were able to see as far as for the dates for that, my pay stud was around this time. This was my earnings. So it started around like March of 2019, and this was between April of 2019. Now, one thing I can say as far as for between those times, I made about $5,000 yearly, so much as far as for my year to date, if you guys were able to see that as far as for right here. And that just goes to show you as far as for like how much they usually make at a plasma center. Now, they have upped their pay as far as for phlebotomists now because of the COVID. It's a lot more on you now. So for the most part, starting off with a phlebotomist, you might get up to like $12 to $13 an hour. It depends on the location and also the facility that you're going to be at. But I figured this video will kind of help you guys out. I still like to talk about the pros and cons as far as for phlebotomy. Don't hesitate just because of off this video. Don't make you want to come a phlebotomist. This was 2 years ago, so the wage can either might have raised up a little bit more. It all depends. For the most part, what I would say is that just look into the company details before signing up for anything. You want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. And when I tell you non-stop, I was working like non-stop at a plasma center. You're always on your feet non-stop. It's no sitting down times, and it's a lot of work that you're doing. You got to go make sure you grab this, make sure you grab that, make sure the donor is set with this, make sure that your PDM thing, I forgot what the heck it was called, but you got to make sure that it's charged. It's the thing where you scan the bottles and whatnot. Make sure that that's charged. Make sure you have stats on you. Make sure you're monitoring your donor, all types of things like that. Now, every phlebotomist job doesn't make this much money. If you're working at a phlebotomy job at a hospital or anything like that, they usually make around like $15 an hour, depending on the location. Now, I'm talking just for Florida. But however, if you're working at a plasma center, it's pretty much just a round off price because they're going to be teaching you how to do everything. So I hope this video can kind of help you guys out, get a pretty much good understanding as far as for how much you'll be making starting off as a phlebotomist at a plasma center. It's not as much, but you get to learn a lot and you get your experience. But when I tell y'all, I was not making that much money as a phlebotomist at a plasma center. Like, this is just pretty much to show you. So I figured I would go back to medical assistant, which I'm glad I did. But I'm glad I got my experience with phlebotomy because, believe it or not, whenever you fill out an application, phlebotomy is always going to be one of the top questions. They're going to ask you, have you had any experience with phlebotomy? Have you had any experience sticking donors? Have you had any, patients? Have you had an experience handling angry patients? What would you do in situations as far as for handling angry patients? And to answer those type of questions, just make sure you click the links down below. I made sure that I prepared for you other videos talking about my phlebotomy experience, and that can kind of help you guys out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm just hoping that anybody that's at a plasma center right now, if you're able to tell as far as for how much you're making right now, please leave it in the comments below. For the most part, this is exactly how much I was making. The more you know, the more money you get. But half of the time at a plasma center, it's so much going on. Sometimes you don't even want to stay that long to get that much money. So it's ups for grabs. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, you guys, and y'all stay safe throughout this COVID-19. Peace, y'all.